this little video, I'd like to have a look at the idea of mixing flesh tones. We're going to start with some colours from series 1, 2 and 3. I'm starting with a simple titanium white, which is a cold, strong white, with some yellow ochre deep, a warmer type of yellow ochre, slightly more reddish tone to it, and a little bit, tiny little bit of Scarlet Lake just to warm it up. And that works quite well for a simple base flesh tone. It's quite warm, we can make it lighter and darker, and we can desaturate a little. I'll be doing that quite a lot here, and I've got various options to desaturate. For this one, I'm just going to try a tiny bit of neutral grey, just to take some of the pink tone out of that and soften it down for some perhaps more shadow areas of the face or body. So there's one to start with. The next one I'd like to try is some lemon yellow with a tiny bit of brilliant pink. This pink is great. It's not too purplish. I'm a bit wary of using anything too purplish in a flesh tone. So this is ideal because it's got a much more orangey reddish tint to it, especially with that lemon yellow. That is quite vibrant, so I'm going to calm it down a little bit. This time I think I might try a little bit of the new green gold colour. See how that works, just soften that colour down. Much more natural looking now, with a little bit of the green gold in there. And again, if I try to lighten it, I'm going this time to use the warm white, the lead white alternative. It's a little softer than the titanium white. Stops the colour going quite so flat. There's always a danger with flesh tones. We're trying to get them natural, but we don't want them to look too grey. So there's the lemon yellow with brilliant pink. Moving on round, I'd like to try the warm light yellow with a little Venetian Red. Lovely colour, Venetian Red. Again, it's not too purplish. It's great for flesh tones. Brilliant for pinker areas like ears or noses or fingertips perhaps. That's a lovely delicate sort of pinkish grey, perhaps ideal for a fairer skin tone. Another good neutral is Unbleached titanium dioxide. Let's try that with a little of that Venetian Red. Gone much more brown. I might be tempted there to put a little bit of something more yellowish. Let's try a little of the Naples Yellow, just to warm that back up. This is looking a lot more tan, much warmer skin tone. And looking at more sort of tan olive ideas, this is the French yellow ochre. You might hear there's a slight texture to it. You can hear it against the surface of the palette. And I want to try that with a tiny bit of the brilliant pink. That gives us a really sort of rich tan colour. And if we lighten that, again, a little of the warm white this time I think. With more of the yellow ochre we can get more towards an olive skin colour. So that's the French yellow ochre there. Moving towards a browner colour, I thought I would try the Italian brown ochre and see how that behaves. This time I'm going to play with some zinc white. That's working quite well. Yeah, that's a really nice warm brown base colour for a skin tone. Naples Yellow is a lovely rich warm golden yellow. I'm mixing it with foundation white here, which is a bit of a warmer white again. A mixture of lead and titanium white there. So on its own it's a little bit too yellow I think, too golden. So a tiny bit of the Scarlet Lake maybe just to warm that up. Powerful, that red. Again, a very clean pink. Might benefit from just calming down a little bit. So I'm going to play with some permanent green light here, just to neutralise that a little and see how that works. It's quite a cool green. We often do find sort of greener areas in the skin. That's working quite nicely. The transparent brown oxide, I think, is a lovely colour. Mixed with warm white, it retains a real richness. It doesn't grey so much, it retains a really lovely warm brown colour, chocolatey brown. This would be ideal for darker skin colours. And possibly mixed with a little ultramarine for shadow areas. It begins to cool off really nicely into a lovely rich dark brown. So there are lots of possibilities here for many different types of skin tones, thinking about paler, more pinkish skin tones through to more olive ones and darker, all within series 1, 2 and 3 of Michael Harding Oils.